Welcome back to Project 613. Today we are going to learn 3 mitzvot. We've been learning about different types of sacrifices, and in general, there are categories in the sacrifices. One category is called koche kachim, which means the holiest level and the highest level of sanctity of sacrifices, and then there is something called kachim kalim, which is a lower level of sanctity, a lower level of holiness, and there are differences between sacrifices that belong in one category or another, and we're going to learn 3 mitzvahs that govern some of the rules of these different categories today. Number 1 is that it is a mitzvah for the kohanim, for the priests, to eat a part of the sacrifices. There are certain sacrifices that we've learned about, let's say the sin offering and the guilt offering, that part of it is eaten by the kohanim. So it is a mitzvah for the kohanim to eat that part of the sacrifice. And in fact, the owners who brought these offerings only gain their atonement when the kohanim eat their portion of the sacrifice. So it's not enough just offering it up on the altar. The kohanim also have to eat their part. And when it comes to this highest level, the koche kachim, the highest level of sacrifices, there is a limit in time for how long they have to eat it, only until midnight of the day that these offerings were brought. And also, only the kohanim themselves are allowed to partake from these sacrifices. However, when it comes to the lower level of sacrifices, the kachim kalim, then there are 2 days that the kohanim have to eat from it. And also, when it comes to the kachim kalim, the kohanim can also share it with their families, with their wives and children, can also take part in eating the sacrifices as well. The second mitzvah that we learned today is that the parts of the meat of the sacrifices that are eaten by the kohanim have to be eaten in the correct place. And here again, there'll be a difference between the 2 categories. The koche kachim, the highest level of sanctity, and those sacrifices that fall into this category can only be eaten in the temple itself. Whereas the kachim kalim, they can only be eaten in Jerusalem. And that is a mitzvah as well. It's a prohibition to eat these portions of meat outside of the correct place. The third mitzvah that we have today is that a non-kohen, what the Torah refers to as a zar, is forbidden from eating the koche kachim, the highest level of sacrifice, which is, let's say, the meat of the sin offering and the guilt offering, which is eaten by the kohanim. Only the kohanim are allowed to eat, and it is a biblical violation for anyone who is not a kohen to partake of these sacrifices. As mentioned, one of the reasons is because it's through the kohanim eating that the owners gain their atonement, and it's only the kohanim, because of their higher level of holiness and sanctity, that have the power given to them by Hashem to bring that atonement upon the person who has brought the sacrifice, and therefore only they are allowed to partake of its meat. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.